Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay guys, I am back. And okay, I apologize. I got crazy and I did the hair. What I meant to do was this. I was going to paint the base of the hair black, okay? With just some cheap acrylic black paint. And to do this technique, you need to make sure you just use a cheapy, flat, matte acrylic paint. No shine or nothing fancy, okay? Just a matte, cheapy acrylic paint. Okay, so I was going to paint that down and have that done on both these girls. And then I was just going to completely do the hair with the technique I used on this one, and then just have this come back with this one and have it just painted black, and then do the strands with you guys. I lost my damn mind and I did the strands on both. Sorry. So I'm going to explain what I did. Like I said, I painted just a black matte acrylic paint, okay? Well, there's a few things I can do with you because I see some things I want to change. Anyway, so then what I did is I took pencils over it. I've told you guys before, if you use a black matte, any acrylic paint, matte, you can do pencil over it and it works so beautifully. So these are Prismacolor Premier pencils, and I have one's a cobalt blue and one is an ultramarine blue, and I have a white. So I just switched it with the pencils, okay, and went like this in her hair. And her hair is, you know, curly because she's my my black girl, and her hair is way more curly. It's, you know, I went like this with this pencil, with this color. Then I switched it to the other blue and went like this, okay, and did it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then I went to some of the strands, I thickened them up a little bit, and some of the strands I didn't thicken them up. Same thing with this one. I went through some strands, thickened them up, and some strands I didn't. So we have thick and thin strands. Then I took my white and I put some highlights in here. And what something I see right now, see how I've done some thicker highlight strands here and there? I kind of feel like I need to put one here, right here. So let me just go over this one. I feel like I didn't have enough thicker ones in this whole thing. There we go. So now I have some thicker strands of white. That looks better, I think. Okay, so now I have thick and thin lines of this blue, and then the white. And then I took a white jelly roll pen. I get these at Hobby Lobby, you guys. You get like 2 or 3 for like $5. Use a coupon. And I just run that really quickly through the hair. I can just do it right now like this. And what that does is it puts a really nice thin line. So now we have another strand. You want to have like lots of different strands of thicknesses going through the hair. So again, just like I always say, layering. Layering is like super important. Okay? And so layering your thickness and thins of your strands. Okay? So then I did the same thing over here, but with her hair, instead of doing it really curly like I did this, I did long strands, so it just looks like the hair is just blowing in the wind. So it looks like straight hair, but I want it to look like it was blowing in the wind. I tried to do it just kind of more straight, it looked horrible. So I thought blowing in the wind type of strands is better. Okay, so again, I use this color and then I use this one, back and forth, back and forth. Then I went over it with white, the same. Okay, and then I took my jelly roll pen and did some thinner strands here and there. This you can't see as good as the thicker strands, but they're in there. It just gives, like I said, it gives a lot of dimension to the hair. It just makes it look more like hair. Okay, even though, you know, hair is not blue. You don't have blue strands going through black hair, but whatever, okay? It's my work, people. It's my work. Okay, so that's how I did the hair. Sorry I did not do the hair with you because I got crazy. But if you actually want to see me do the hair, you can go back to the video before this where I did my last piece, where I did my black girl with my white woman, and my black woman with my white woman, and you can see how I did the hair, okay? I actually didn't base color this black. I painted the black in, but you'll get the basics of it. Okay, so sorry about that. So let's put the pencils and stuff away because we don't need any more of those. I took care of the hair off camera. Jeez, I can't believe I did that. Okay, so now where we're to, oh, the other thing is I just need to talk about, okay, remember I had put those highlights on the face, on the cheeks? I didn't like it. It was just too stark. When I kept looking at it, it was bugging me. So then I took a white pencil and I went over on her cheeks. I went over the white just to kind of blend it out a little bit to see if I wanted to, maybe that would work. It looked horrible. So then I thought, well, let me try to erase the pencil. Well, when I did that, erase the pencil and it erased the white acrylic paint. Same thing over here when I had it here. Same thing happened. And it did erase what was below it, which was a cream pastel. But I think because I'm putting acrylic paint over pastels and over different layers, that's why I was able to erase off the acrylic paint. So that was good. I just got very lucky. So I went ahead and erased it off. It did erase off the cream pastel, but I just put the cream pastel back on again. This color here. You know, the little tin. This little tin that has the little cream pastels. So I just took that color with my brush and just put it back in again. Same thing over here. I just blushed up her cheeks a little bit. There was still a little highlight left here, but that's how I wanted the highlight to look. Just very natural. So I love that, so I'm leaving that. Okay, so I wanted to let you guys know that. And before we do, we're going to do the background. But before we do the background, I decided, you guys, I can't help myself. Okay, you know how I put the little fairy dust on her eyes? I got to fairy dust the rest of how I always do it. It just, I don't know, you guys. It just, it's not me until we put fairy dust everywhere. And for those of you who are like, what are you talking about? You'll see in a second. I know some of you guys have watched me a million times. You guys are like, girl, we know, we know. And some of you are probably making a bet. She's going to end up fairy dusting those eyes. Okay, so let me come in just a little bit. Okay, there we go. We only need one girl in frame at a time. Okay. All right, so I got to get my brush. Where is it? Okay, so I'm just using a little liner brush, taking and wetting the paint just a little bit, just to thin it out just a little bit. So if you thin out the paint a little bit with a little bit of water, it turns into more like the consistency of ink, and you have a little bit more control. Make sure that I'm getting what I want. Yes, I am. Okay, then let me put my readers on. Where are they? Here they are. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. I'm going to put some fairy dust here on the eyeliner, lower lash. I love doing this. And I've done it so much now, like, I don't know, I think it's becoming kind of my signature with my girls. So. Even though, I mean, I'll admit, this wasn't my original idea. I saw somebody do it a long time ago, and now I pretty much do all my girls this way. Okay. I'm just redoing some of the little... Okay. So then I want to go ahead and do this. Put like the little dots down. I love this. I don't know why I find a need to do this to all my girls, but I just love it. So. And it's kind of nice to start developing a style so that people can look and go, oh, that's Angela's work. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your people, like the people that you listen to their music, and You just hear their voice and you don't even have to know the song. You're like, oh, that's so-and-so. I think of like Babyface like that. Whenever I hear his music, I'm like, oh, that's a Babyface song. Even if somebody else is singing it and he wrote a song for somebody else, I go, that sounds like Babyface style. And I'll look and see who wrote it. Usually it's Babyface. Because you get your own like style. Okay. Okay, just a second. I'm kind of just reloading my brush, but getting it together. Okay. All right, so let me move this over so you can see this girl. And let's fairy dust her eyes. This I call, anytime I put white splatters on things, even controlled white splatters like we're doing now, I call it fairy dusting. And it's funny because when I don't fairy dust the girls or fairy dust the background, someone will go, you didn't fairy dust. Like, hold me accountable. Okay. And some of you might have been thinking that, like, you should fairy dust that girl. There we go. I love that. Now I feel like it's complete. I do not know what the heck my problem is, you guys, but I just have to do that to all my girls. Crazy, I know. Okay. And I like the girls' faces better now without those highlights that are like, and I've done it before, but I don't know. I think the highlights in the darker skin of how I'm doing it, it's just too much. When I'm doing my white women, I can do those white highlights and it meshes into it better. So I'm gonna have to figure out, maybe I need to do like a more beigey highlight. I'll work it out and figure it out. But for right now, the highlights are in the skin, you know. Like where the skin's darker and then this is lighter, so we already have that in there, so I'm not gonna sweat it. Okay, let's go on. Okay, so, and I can see something on the girl that I want to fix on her face. I'll do it right with you guys. I was gonna do it off camera, but you know what, it's better to, especially when you make mistakes, to show the mistakes, because that could be the same mistake that you've made on something, and then, you know, I have an idea of how to fix it, and that could, you know, help somebody else. And it really wasn't a mistake. It's just something, when I was doing the shading, I didn't see it. See right, I'll show you. See right here, I cut this off weird. I need to like blend that. I don't know. That's just weird. I actually need to use my eraser and erase this back a little bit. And maybe that's all I need to do. Maybe I don't need to add anything. I don't know. No, I still need to add. Okay, so let me fix that. Where is my palette? Birthday suit. If you guys want these, all this stuff like this, I don't think this palette's there, the birthday suit. We'll go look for it. But anyway, Sizzix.com has a great sale on all the Jane Davenport stuff, and they had some palettes like these pastel palettes. I'm not sure if they had this birthday suit one, but they had other palettes, and so definitely go check it out. A lot of good stuff and really good prices. Okay, so let me work this out a little bit here. Okay. All right, now, just a second, you guys. Hopefully I'm not out of frame. Just a second. I just gotta I just have to have it like the way it is, whether I'm in frame or not, to blend this out. So hopefully I still am in frame. I'm not even looking. Oh, I am in frame. Thank God. Thank goodness. Okay, there we go. And that's important what I just did, because, you know, that's putting the shape and everything into the face. So I just think that needs to be right. And then blend that into that right there. Okay, now that looks right to me. All right. Had to get that straightened out. Okay, I love how our girls are looking now. Hope you guys do. Okay, and I love how the hair is coming together. Okay, that's them becoming like one, right? We're all women. We're all human beings. They share a history. So I think it's a beautiful thing. The history can be very traumatizing for both the natives and for the black culture. So that part is traumatizing. But the shared history, the shared womanism that they have between each other, the things that they go through together today are very similar. So like I said, we're all much more alike, my friends, than we are not. Okay. Let me bring the camera back out. Okay. And I'm going to stay with the camera out because we need to work really big. We need to work really wide. That camera, okay. We need to work really wide because we're going to do the background now. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get my big blue brush out, okay? And I have a whole thing of layers of goodies and what I do is I layer it in the way that I'm going to use it. So see, I have this, and then I go into the layer of like tissue paper type of stuff. And so the whole thing I just stack on top of each other, so I have this beautiful little pile of collage bits. And that's how I stay organized and with the video, and just stay organized in my own head. So whether I'm making a video or not, I would still organize it like that. So then it just goes smoother. All right, so I just got some book pages that I'm gonna do right now. Oh, and one important thing that I always do is let's take a piece of paper and put it over their face, because if anything gets on their faces, I'm gonna have a coronary. So we've done a lot of work on that skin, right? We don't need anything going on the skin. And you don't want me to have a coronary, do you? Okay. No, Angela, we don't want you to have a coronary. Okay, I'll have to move that a little bit, but we'll do that when we get there. Same thing over on this side, but we'll do it when we get there. Okay, actually, you know what? There we go, because that's the main thing, is I just don't want the face getting messed up at all. Oh. Can I make this any rougher on myself? All right. Good enough. All right, so I got this little piece of book page here. Let's start. Got my big blue brush. Let's begin. And I'm dipping it into some collage medium that I make. It's in between like a flat Mod Podge and a homemade. flat Mod Podge or what's the other stuff that's expensive? Oh my God, it'll hit me in a minute. God, I want to think of the name of it. It's bugging me, but I can't think of it. Anyway, so how I make is I just take Elmer's glue, water it down. It's very simple. Like if you make a cup of it, like put it in a measuring cup, like about a cup of it, and I put it in a nice big tub when I'm done. I just actually mix it in this tub, okay? But I'm just telling you, if you need to measure it out, about a cup of glue, and then put some water in it so it waters it down just a little bit, not too watery, just so that it's not so thick. And then I'm gonna use some Asian newspaper print. And then I do about 10 squirts of a clear matte spray. And that makes this up. That's what it's called, matte medium. So this makes, when you do this like this, it makes it like a matte medium or matte Mod Podge. And a matte Mod Podge or a matte medium are good so that you can do things over them. It gives it more of a matte surface. Okay. And I have a dictionary page, so I'll use some of that. Use a big old piece right there. And I get close to the hair, but not super close. I'm not super concerned about getting super close to the hair, because we will go close to that when we do the colorizing. And if you don't know what colorizing is, you'll know soon. It's just adding color onto your piece over all this, so everything comes together. Okay, love that dictionary paper. You guys, is there anything better than mixed media? I don't think so. Okay, this is some, I think, Arabic writing. I love it. It's beautiful. So we're going to put that there. I guess it all goes together for me. You know, I love to do mixed media, which means mixing people, mixing cultures. And everything's mixed for me, whether it's my art, whether it's people. I just like everything mixed. I just think it's better that way. A heck of a lot more interesting. Just stick with the same old thing all the time. Go to different cultures, meet different people. Way more interesting. Your life will be way more enriched and way more interesting. And then you get to eat their food too. Oh, hell yes. I have friends from all different types of cultures, and I think it's awesome. Love it. Okay, here's some more book pages. Okay. And I do live what I'm speaking because my children are mixed. I've remarried, but my husband before was white and my husband now is white. So I practice what I preach. And my children are half black, half white. They have a lot of different, you know, inside of that there's a whole lot of other things too. But they are just they came out just gorgeous, of course. In my opinion, all mixed children do. All children are beautiful. I shouldn't say that because all children are beautiful. But when you mix cultures, you get this look that is just incredible. You guys know what I mean. Okay. So just keep going, you know, just mixing these things up. And I always tell you guys, I mean, I love coloring my girls and drawing my girls and all that, but I love, this is probably my favorite part, is this part, because it's just so relaxing. Now I have to say, it's not as relaxing as when I do the collaging first and put the girls on top. That's even more relaxing because I don't have to go around anything. Like right now I have to, you know, trim off pieces to go around things. So it's not like it's stressful, but it's just not as freeing as, you know, the other way. But I still love it. Clean up that glue. All right. And because some of the spaces are kind of small, I let things just hang off and then we'll trim it up at the end. Okay. So right here, I'm just letting that just fall right off. Again, right here, this will just hang off. And we'll catch it when everything dries. That was a little glue in her hair. And I just try to clean up the glue on my mat as I go along. I do another cleaning when I'm all done. But if you do that, it just helps keep your mat nicer. It's a glass mat, so you can easily, you know, if it's glue, you probably have to scrape the stuff off, which is why I kind of clean up as I go along. Okay, and then there's dictionary pages. Let's just put that in right here. Put it in like that. So in this little area, it's a lot of smaller bits and pieces. That's for sure. Okay, let's go back up here and get some glue going. And do I ever just do a plain background? Absolutely not. Again, it's my style. I love to do a mixed media background almost on every piece. I don't like plain. So I always want the background to be interesting. I'm gonna throw that piece right there because I just saw it sitting on my desk. To me, doing the mixed media makes it interesting in the background. It makes a really interesting background. I mean, I could just throw some watercolor in the background, which would look really cool. But how much more cool is it going to look doing all these layers? I don't know. I think way more cool. Way cooler. Oh, excuse me. Let's throw some book pages right in here. Okay. And then let's go and put some glue on the side here. Okay, I like to just get the glue going. I've said this a million times, but you guys, I absolutely love this glass mat. If you were on the fence about getting one, Tim Holtz has one. HSN carries the Tim Holtz, and they carry this one, which is called Crafter's Companion. They're both really great, but the Crafter's Companion was only 20 bucks. The Tim Holtz was like 40. And I love both, and I thought both were awesome, but I thought 20 bucks, let me just try it. And this one was just a little bit smaller, but not that much smaller. So I thought, let me try the one that's a little bit more less expensive since it's the same size. See if I like it. If I don't like it, I can always send it back. Yeah, I didn't send it back. I hem and hawed about getting this glass mat. I think it was because I didn't know if I wanted to spend the money on it or not. Yeah. I shouldn't have hem and hawed. That's the only thing I'm sorry about, that I didn't get it sooner. It's that awesome. And if you buy it from HSN, you can use Easy Pay. Love me some Easy Pay. So you can pay like $5 a month for a few months. Have it paid off. So. What am I, a QVC, HSN host? I started watching that Home Shopping when I was pregnant with my first child, and because I was very sick for the first, with both my kids, I just was not, excuse me, a little overship. I just threw up all day long with both of them, sick as a dog, up until about 6 months, and then I finally can eat some food. So the first one, I just really had to just lay on the couch most of the time, and I just was nauseated all day long. It was horrendous. But QVC kept me company. So at that time, I didn't have the kind of money to, you know, be spending all the time. So that was good, thank goodness. So I just watched it and just saw what they were selling most of the time. I order once in a great while. So I was one of those watchers of that Home Shopping almost from the very beginning. That was a long time ago. Whew. Okay, aging myself. All right, so let me just throw a couple more another little Asian piece of paper right here. Perfect. Feel like that needed a little more breakage. Breaking that up just a little bit more. Bam. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go on to another layer. Let me get all this done. Take that and put it over here to the side. And keep all the little bits. Like I have little pieces like that. Keep all those because you can use them for the next thing you're going to do. And my basics like this, I just pretty much keep them out in a little basket all the time. So, and then I have another container that I keep all my main pieces like this in. But this way, you know, I don't have to go into that bin. I can just go to my little basket that I keep on the side of me because I always use these as a base first. So this is always my base. All right. Also, I have this Jeannie from Dazzling Duchess. Hey, Jeannie. She sent me this paper. She sent me a whole bunch of paper, and it is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And I showed it in a video. So anyway, I told her that I would be using some of it in my mixed media backgrounds. And she goes, I think she said, yes, ma'am. Something like that. I don't think she said yes, ma'am, but, you know, that's what I would say. But she was like, okay, cool. So we're going to rip up a little bit of this and tear it and put that in there. Like, I love this writing right here. Isn't that gorgeous? Fabulous. Tear everything because I don't like any edges. Okay, so we'll put that right there. Gorgeous. Okay. And I'm going to take this piece, rip this like this, get it a little thinner, and just put that right on top of here. Layer that up. And let's take this piece and put this right across here like that. Layer this up. Bam. And that's how you can use something like that in a piece like that, like this. Do I want to use anything else? Do I see? Yeah, I'm going to use this right here. Some more of this. And we will rip it a little bit more. Just put it like across like that. There we go. Oh, what I was covering up her face with started getting stuck. Okay. Where's the glue at? Okay, there's the sticky part. I want to get that off so I don't get that on my girl's face. Rip that off. All right. There we go. All right, so that's good with that. So I'm going to put this away. Let me make sure I don't want any more of this anywhere. Do I want this here? You know what? We'll put this piece here. How cool is that? Love it. And some of you guys might think, oh, you're covering things up. Yeah, but there's still little bits of book page there and little bits of that Arabic writing right there, right? So it's the layering that makes the magic, for sure. And the little bits and pieces that are peekabooing through and throughout, so. Next layer is like kind of like tissue paper. This right here, I get these on rolls from where? Daiso. Okay, this one, isn't this gorgeous? And it's in brown. I absolutely love it. And it comes on a roll. Look how like Parisian that looks. I just love it. And then this one, we're going to use all three of them, I think. Little bits of all three of them. And what's cool about these, they're in between a napkin and a dryer sheet. That's what they feel like. And there's this one. And you can see through them just like you can tissue paper. Okay? So we're going to use this one first. And I'm just ripping a little piece off. I love this piece right here because it has that perfume bottle. And we're going to put that right in the center. And so I'm going over things that I just did, right? But it doesn't even matter because you know what? You can see right through it like napkins are. And you can see all those beautiful layers. So you can put it over anything and then everything beneath it comes up through it. It's fabulous. All right, I'm going to trim up something from this one. Yeah, I get a little excited doing, oh, I love that. Oh, it's kind of too big. I get a little excited doing collaging. I just love it. I just think it's so cool. We'll put that there. Okay. Because I think collage is just, I don't know, I just love it. I just love it. I've told this story a million times if you've been on my channel, but some people are like, girl, you're like a broken record. When I was in school, I was bored a lot. And the only things I really liked when I was in school was cursive writing. Like when they said we're going to learn cursive writing, and that only lasted like 2 weeks. I was so sad. I'm like, I want this to last like the whole school year. Like every day I'm going to have cursive writing hour. But it lasted like 2 or 3 weeks. I think it probably lasted a month. Not long enough, okay? So, I was so excited when they'd say, okay, get your cursive writing out. I was like, yay, because like fancy writing. And writing's just another form of art, really. You're drawing shapes, right? Okay, so I would love that. Then we had creative writing time. And I could creative write, which I loved the creative writing part. And then I could draw characters to match my story. And then she would say, once in a while, she'd say, okay, we're going to do some collaging for an hour or two. I'm like, yes, that was my favorite thing. I would go run into the magazines. I get a big piece of like poster paper. And oh my goodness, she probably had to like, I don't know what, when time was up for the collaging. I don't know what she said to make me stop because I know I was nuts. And in my own head, I thought, finally something worth doing in this school. That's what my little 7-year-old or 8-year-old self was saying. I didn't say that out loud, of course, but in my own head, I was like, finally. if I see another math problem, because that was not my favorite subject. It actually became one of my favorite subjects in college, but after I had a really good tutor that could explain it to me the way I saw it. But until then, no. Couldn't stand math at all. After learning how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, I'm like, what's the purpose? I still feel like that. But, I mean, what do we do mostly? Add, subtract, divide, multiply. That's it. And we measure. So, anyway, don't let your children listen to me. I don't know what the algebra is for. Like, why were they stressing our brains out with the algebra? Even though I ended up liking it. I never use it. Ever. I've never once used algebra. It's insane. So, anyway. I think it's kind of sad. What I personally think it's for is weeding kids out. Is what it really is for. Some kids after high school just are like, forget it. I can't get that algebra thing. And I think it's about weeding people out. Which is sad. Why else would you teach something that nobody uses? Specialized fields, I guess, use it, but most of us aren't in that specialized field. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. Okay. Where's my piece of paper that goes right there? Anyway, I'm sure there's some people who don't feel about that the way I do. So if you don't, sorry. You can see what type of person I am, a tactile, artsy person. So that's why I probably see the world the way I see it. Okay, so I used all of these. I used all of the ones I wanted. I have obscenely way too much, like always. What else do I want to do? I thought maybe I wanted to do these, but I don't. Oh, I always add these on almost every piece. I love these watches. This is napkins that are watches. Just a second. That needs to go over there. I've shown this a million times. I almost put this on every piece I do. Isn't that fabulous? Yes. Yes, ma'am. All right. I don't know if you can see over here on the side. You probably can't, but I take like a paintbrush and I dip it in water. And then I go over the napkin around whatever I want to use. And it makes like a little perforated edge. And I can tear out exactly what I want to tear out of the napkin without tearing my subject matter out apart. See? I get a perfect little clock. And where I always like to put the clocks, right at the top. We'll put it right in the middle there. I do that almost on every one of my things. When I run out of those napkins, I will be sorry. I think I got those at, oh, this wasn't like glued down very well. I got this at those clock faces at, I believe, Tuesday morning. And that will be very sad if Tuesday morning goes out of business. Hopefully they do not. Or at least all of them don't go out of business. I think they were having problems before, and then this whole, virus did not help them at all. I think they had so many days to, they were in bankruptcy, I think. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I read. And they had so many days to get the money to the bank, and then this whole quarantine thing, and they had to close. So I read something like that. So, okay, I'm going to use this tissue paper. This is some Tim Holtz inspired tissue paper that I made. It was a pattern paper, and then I used all these different stamps and stamped it. I have a video on this. It's under mixed media, if you'd like to look at that video. And I love it. And stamped tissue paper, whether you you make your own or buy Tim Holtz. I'm gonna use that big old piece right there. You can see right through it. That's the beauty of it. It's a good layering piece because you can see all those layers. That's why I didn't mind putting that piece, that big old piece over all of that, because you're going to see all those layers beneath, which I think is beautiful. And it's so thin that you see so many layers. It's even nice, it's even prettier and thinner than napkins, really. Look at that, how you can see all that through there. Love it. Okay, let's put that right here in the middle. And you can just go right over the top of it, and it glues down even nicer than a napkin does, and a napkin glues down pretty nice. All right, let's put that right there. Okay, I'm definitely going to put some right here. Okay. Let's put some down here. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking to see what else I want to do. Let's see if we want to put a little bit, maybe just a little piece right here on the edge, right there. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. Let me check my, make sure everything, you guys are seeing everything. Yep. We are good. Oh my God, this is looking so beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay. All right, so let me just look and see what else I got going on. I'm not going to use this. I was going to maybe use this napkin, but I'm not using that. Here's some more of the clock. And I was going to use some butterflies, you guys. Well, do I want to use a little bit of butterflies? I'll use a little bit of butterflies. Okay, I will use a little bit of butterflies. I wasn't going to use any, but you guys know me. Oh, I love me some butterflies. Like, I'm obsessed. Especially since this piece is going to be, the background's going to be very Tim Holtzy, very brown. A lot of shades of brown. So this is going to go perfect with the shades of brown right here. Okay. And I'll explain that here before we go, what I'm talking about. The next steps. But look how pretty that is. It's really going to go with that colorizing of brown. So I'm glad I just picked out those butterflies. They're all kind of those brown colors. Let me see if I can do that again. Or just kind of neutral, natural tones. Yeah, there's some here at the bottom. And these napkins are gorgeous. Again, got these napkins at, where? Tuesday Morning. And I think I paid maybe $1.99 a pack. So, good price. I would have paid $3 or $4 for the pack of these. Even $5, because they're that beautiful. And in fact, because I love all these napkins so much, I bought them a long time ago. I wish I'd have bought tons of them when I did. I did buy quite a few, but I wish I'd have bought more than I did. Because now I'm getting at the end of some of this stuff. And I'm going to be sad. Okay. I know, getting sad over napkins. It doesn't take much to make me happy. I think my husband loves that about me because he's like, girl, you'd be happy with the box. I said, oh, heck yeah. Like, if it's a cool box. He goes, I could just give me that box for a gift, which he would never do. I'm going to put that butterfly there. But he goes, I just know you. You'd be happy with the damn box. You might be happier with the box than the gift I gave you. I said, you know what? Sometimes you're probably right. And he always buys me such beautiful gifts, but he tries harder than he even has to with me. Okay. Give me a beautiful box. Give me a cool shaped box. It doesn't have to be beautiful. Just the shape has to be cool. I'm in love. Okay. Because I can make something cool from it. Okay, let me put some water on these. Just a second. I'm doing a little pre-cleaning. There we go. All right, so all the napkins, I think this was the last layer. Yep, this was the last layer. This was it. So for now, we got to let all these layers dry, because this is a lot of layers, of course. So we have to let all of this dry. Let me have some water and I'll talk to you about what we're going to do. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to let this dry. I'm probably going to let it dry overnight because this is a lot of layers. Well, actually, you know, it's 100 and something outside here in Las Vegas. So I could actually take this out outside in 15 minutes. This will be bone dry. That is one thing I love. I hate everything about the summer here, but that's one thing I love. I'm doing some artwork or doing whatever and I need it to dry. I skip outside 15 minutes, it's done. That's how I live in hell, you guys. That's just how dry and how hot it is here. But anyway, when you let this dry, after that, when we come back in the next video, we will take I use Kilz, K-I-L-T-Z, I think it's spelled. You buy it by the gallons. It's a wall primer, and I use it like you use gesso. So you can use either one. I buy it $12 a gallon. And some girl, there was a girl, not some girl, there's one of my subbies, excuse me, who said that it's kind of toxic, and I agree, it probably is kind of toxic, but I only have it open for a second, and then I close it right away. So, and my room's pretty well ventilated, so I feel pretty good about that. And the smell's not real intense. I don't even get a headache from it, but I don't leave it out for a long time. So I do know what you mean though. Okay, so I take out like my big blue brush, dip it in water, then dip it into the gesso, and then we'll put a light coat of gesso. By dipping in water first, it just puts a light gessoing. So you still see everything come up to the gesso, but it makes a nice surface, a nice tooth for me to put on some things. Now to colorize, remember I said what colorizing is I'm going to colorize with hot cocoa. It smells like hot cocoa too. It's incredible ink. Okay. I'll probably mix it with a little bit of water, but I love like watercolor or ink type of things because you can see right through it still, right? So we'll colorize it, this whole thing. It'll bring everything together when you colorize. I'll colorize with this. I'll colorize with this Bria Reese glitter ink. It's another shade of brown and it has some glitter in it. And then I'll use, this is like the skin tone color that I used. I'll use this, probably full strength. And these three meshed all together and muddled all together will make a beautiful, very browny, aged, antique-y Tim Holtz type of background, which I'm very excited about. And then we'll probably do some stenciling. I might do some doodling here and there. We could possibly add some, what are they called? We may or may not, I should pull them out, rub-ons that I got, and they're very vintage. And I would do that on top of the gesso before, well, actually I would do that on top of after I did the colorizing, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not really sure about that. So we're almost at the end. I think this is going to look really, really cool. I'm excited to do this. I love what it represents. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. And I have my Black women and my Native women. And I really love celebrating that because when do you ever see paintings with a Black woman and a Native woman together? You know, and you don't very often. So that's my thing, is I want to put everyone together so that people can start seeing that more. You know, the more you see things like this, the more it becomes a part of your consciousness, the more it becomes natural. It's like, yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah, I want everything to be like, oh yeah, of course there's a Black woman and a white woman together in a painting. Of course there's a Native and a Black woman in a painting. Of course there's an Asian and a Native American or a Native woman in a painting. Okay, so the more you see things, the more it just becomes like, oh yeah, of course. Like, I want it to become so it's like nothing, you know? So that's it. I think it's a beautiful thing to mix people, to mix media, my art. Let's mix it all up, people. All right, you guys, that is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Instagram and Facebook. Let me know how you're liking this. Have you learned anything new? Have you learned about any new products? Or just your general opinion, okay? All right, you guys, I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and we'll finish up the background. We'll finish up this whole thing in the next video, okay? All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.